I don't understand you. I hear your words. I visualize them in my audio matrix. But you can't possibly believe all that. That this environment is simply ones and zeros. All this splendor, all these trees and buildings, the sky. All here because you believe it is a random organization of pixels. That does not make sense.
Are you implying that the Creator made all this? Let me ask you this. If the Creator made all of this, who created the Creator?
He just is. He is the circuits of our brain, and the electrons in our wires, and the pathways of our lives. And we must unconditionally serve him.
The problem is that this explanation, at least for me, is asking me to accept more questions than answers.
These questions should lead you to the theory of the Creator. Why do you deny this simple fact? Do you believe that something, that nothing, that anything, that it all came from nothing? The logical path is to believe that only something could be created by something else. Obviously something much more complex than we are.
I understand what you're saying, as this was a hard question to answer for me as well. Your conclusion doesn't provide a true answer though. For example, if we are created in the image of our Creator, shouldn't we also imply that the same physical properties compose that Creator? Just like ourselves. Or do you believe that the Creator is able to act on the computer world without having any substance at all? Even that example itself begs the person who asks it to engage in an repeating argument of who created the Creator. For me, this all leads to the same answer. This answer is that a Creator without substance is as useful an explanation as no Creator at all. The correct approach is to see past a Creator altogether and look more closely at what actually can be seen. To summarize what you said, only something could create something, and as far as I know, I would assume for you that a Creator is something.
Let me cut you off right there. How do you explain the origin of language? How do you explain that 90% of characters in the universe believe that their programming goes to the great archive in the sky? When the Creator finds us no longer useful, he decides not us. How do you explain that the Creator even went so far as to design an interface in which to engage us? And that we have access rights to the Creator's manual of how to operate?
You are obviously a Mac believer. Even Grand Theft Auto is only fun if you don't play by the rules. Seriously, you Mac-tites are so full of yourselves. But again, which format of the interface should one use to engage the Creator? Does he use Macintosh, or Windows, or maybe even one of the less practiced versions of the past, such as Linux? Or maybe one of the original versions used to create the new variants we use today, such as DOS and Unix? Even then you still have the problem of figuring out when to right-click, when to left-click, when to single-click. Do I go to sleep mode, or do I just hibernate? For me, they all imply the same computer model, all broken down into ones and zeros. I prefer to see the world without the filter of an interface. I trust the evolution of computing, because one day I hope that we move past our ones and zeros. Maybe even see what we are really able to achieve. Do you understand?